everybody, this is Katie Heron with Heron Bird Plans, and I'm going to be planning for the week of May 10th today with y'all. I'm going to be using this kit from Orange Umbrella Co. It's kit 849. I have the vertical priorities page, the washi strip page, as well as the date covers that I'm going to be using. I'm also going to be using some stickers from my Happy Planner spring book, as well as some freebies from Planner Kate. So let's go ahead and get started. If you haven't noticed already, I decided to make this one be a voiceover rather than me talking while I was doing the video. One, it would make it be a little bit shorter of a video, which maybe some of y'all would prefer. And two, I was having a pretty busy weekend, and so I just did not have the energy to film and talk at the same time. So that's why I'm doing this more as a voiceover instead of talking while I'm planning. So I was able to speed it up for y'all just a little bit. I had a crazy weekend. My son got sick on Wednesday night and found out that he had a pretty bad ear infection as well as hand, foot, and mouth, which was going pretty wild at his daycare. And we're also pretty sure that he may have had strep, but his antibiotics for his ear infection were covering that as well, so we're not too concerned about it. He is doing much better now, and that's why I'm able to actually talk through this voiceover as I'm editing. He's doing much better now. So right now I'm just putting down the covers for the days of the week, and I really liked these. I thought it was a good touch of color at the top while kind of changing up the font for the days of the week. I'd never really used date covers before, and I thought that these turned out pretty nice. So that's what I'm putting down now. If you noticed some stickers were missing from that kit, it's because I used them last week in my teacher appreciation spread. I needed some date dots, and so I used them off of this kit. So if you haven't seen that yet, you can go check it out after you finish this one. So I'm just getting all of those set down. And then I believe the next thing I do is go in and put down some washi. I ended up actually using every bit of washi off of this washi kit, which I really thought I wouldn't do. I thought that I would run out of things to use for the washi, but I really did find a use for all of it, and I really enjoyed it. So I decided to go in with this stripe underneath all of the days of the week. And the reason I chose the stripe is because it had 3 pages, whereas all of the other ones only had 2 strips of washi. And these were a lot shorter washi strips than I'm used to dealing with. And so it only fit the length of the page. And if y'all know from vertical priorities, the dates wrap around on the other side. You need a little extra strip for Sunday. And so I had to choose something that was going to have enough options there for me to also use it on Sunday. So that's why I went with the stripes, and I really liked it. I thought it turned out nice. All right, and so I'm just watching this along with y'all while I'm doing this voiceover, so it's still a surprise to me what I decide to do next. I think I end up going in and putting down some of these boxes that are at the top. I haven't had any boxes to put at the top in a long time. This is kind of my first time having them. It's the first time having them since I started my YouTube channel. I think I had a few printable ones that I put up there when I was still doing printable kits. But this was the first time I've had any that were pre-printed, and it turned out really nice. You'll see them all kind of together in the end. It kind of adds an extra touch of color at the top. So what I decided to do here, I had that extra stripe, and I just decided to put that with my habits. I liked that this kit had a script for habits, so I did not have to use one that I had made. I could use one that matched the fonts of the kit. And so I put that up top, and then I went in and wrote down my habits for the week. And they're the same as they normally are. I definitely fell off the bandwagon of getting my habits done last week. Like I said, Wednesday on, my son was sick, so Wednesday on to Sunday, everything was kind of shot as far as getting things productive done. But I definitely did not make it a priority last week. So I'm trying to do a little bit better this week to make it a priority to do all those different habits that I have there. And so on this side, I'm going to continue on with covering up the boxes that come with this kit. Again, I don't use these very often, but it was a nice little touch to have this little touch of floral at the top. I think I go back in later and title that section. All right, so now I'm getting started on one of my favorite parts. I really love how this turned out. So kind of stay tuned. I used the thickest washi, which is a big floral pattern out of this kit, and put that at the bottom. And then after that, I found a script that I really liked out of my Happy Planner Spring book, and kind of surgically cut it up to make it fit in this little space. And it turned out really cute. I really liked the last couple of weeks using this bottom section as a decorative part because, as I mentioned before, my to-do list portion of my planner doesn't tend to be very long. Max like 5 items, but more typically like 2 to 3 because I just don't always write down every little tiny thing that needs to get done. And so I've been able to, that's the script that I'm going to use. So you see how it was one big solid box. I'm going to cut out each word from it. Anyway, like I was saying, I don't necessarily need all of the space in the planner to actually write plans. And so it's been kind of fun to try to think of creative ways to decorate in these boxes at the bottom instead of just using it for meals. I may go back to using for meals, especially once school's out and I am actually at home a lot more and maybe have bigger to-do lists for my home. Then I may need more space for that. So I may go back to putting meals there. But for now, it's kind of fun letting it be decorative. And so I went through and just kind of cut out each of the words. It said, "Give me all the flowers," and got those ready to be able to place them at the bottom there. And so I decided to put the "give me" on one side, the floral flowers on the other, and then just kind of fill in the space in between with all these so that it would be an equally spaced sentence. And then I decided to take another strip of washi. Again, I kind of went washi crazy with this one, but I think it's because I had it, that it gave me kind of the freedom to do it. So I put another strip of floral washi. This one's a little bit skinnier, and did that on that kind of the connecting part of this creamish colored box. And yeah, I really, really liked how that turned out. I think I ended up using the little small flowers that were part of that overall script and kind of put those in as some extra decoration among the words. And I really liked how it turned out. So then on the opposite side, I ended up finding another script kind of in the same category. It says "Bloom." And so this one I didn't have to cut apart. I could just put down the words and call it good. And so I used the word "bloom." It was actually on the same page as that one. I took a second to look to find one that I liked and just used the word "bloom." And then I used some florals from that spring kit as well, just to kind of help fill in that space. That did end up cutting into my to-do list section a little bit more than I had intended for it to. And so you'll see I had to move my dinner section up in my planner a little bit more this time. Normally I put it at the very bottom of the to-do list section, but this time I decided to move it up towards the top. And you'll see that in just a second. I don't know about y'all, but it has been fun to kind of get outside of my comfort zone and do do different things with my planner lately. Hopefully y'all have enjoyed getting to see something a little bit different than my usual placement of everything. And these sticker kits have been amazing to get to use. This Orange Umbrella Co. one was very good quality. Way different than the Planner Cake one I used last week, though, especially given that it was made just for vertical priorities. So here I was trying to figure out where I wanted to put my dinner icons at, because like I said, I normally would stick them at the bottom, but because of those flowers sticking up, I decided to then stick them at the top instead. So like the very first priority of my week is my meals, which, let's be honest, that's probably what my priorities typically are anyway. And so for those of y'all that may not know, I don't tend to plan out meals for every specific day of the week. Instead, I just come up with a list of 5 to 7 meals that we kind of want to have and get the groceries for those, and then write those on our fridge. And then I just use my planner to track what we ate. And that kind of lets me to be able to look back and say, hey, it's been 2 or 3 weeks since we had tostadas. You want to have tostadas again? Which, if you know me personally, we are not going to go 2 to 3 weeks without having tostadas. That's like a weekly occurrence at our house. We love some tostadas because it's just super easy, yummy, tasty meal. So anyway, but that's kind of how I use my meal tracker. I've done meal planning lots of different ways in the past, and that's just kind of what's working best for us right now, is to just pick out some meals and just track whatever we ate at the end. And so as I was putting down this extra tape just to mark off the dinners, I realized that that strip was not going to make it to cover all 7 days, because like I said, those washi strips were a lot shorter than I'm used to. And so instead I decided to move the dinner icons down on Saturday and Sunday and use the blue on the bottom, and then I used the leftover of that skinny floral on Sunday, so that way it wasn't right beside each other and looking like they meant to be matched up, but they weren't. And so that was my pretty much entirely used washi sheet. I don't really think there's much else that I end up using. So what I decided to do here is just in the second section. So since the first section was mostly meals and decorations, the second section is where I decided to put anything important going on that week. And so I used these decorative boxes. There were 3 decorative boxes that fit the width of this planner. And so I decided to use those to mark off some of the special things happening this week. Wasn't a whole lot going on. One of them is my cousin's pageant is on Tuesday, or the day that y'all are seeing this video. And so I thought I would mark that with this pretty floral box. And then we have the Blossom Festival this weekend. And so I used this little blue, almost herringbone pattern on Saturday to mark that off. And just use a label. Now these blue labels I think are meant to be section headers for the different sections of this planner, but I just used them kind of as event labels, and they worked out pretty good for that because it just was what was part of the kit. And so I thought it worked out nice. And then this other decorative box, just to use it, I put it at the bottom of Wednesday. Typically my Wednesdays don't have very many to-do lists, and so that's why I chose to do that. And then I really liked how last week I had this washi strip that went across my to-do list section. So then I only had to have one label that said to do instead of writing it on all 5 days. And so I decided to just use these blue labels. It did kind of look a little strange because they broke up between each day instead of being one strip across. But I was out of washi, and so it worked out just fine. And so there wasn't actually a to-do label with this kit, which I thought was kind of interesting. So I just decided to use the word important. Figured it kind of covered the same thing. And so that's what I put there. Then I'm going back up to my top box. That's what I typically use for this week. Just any random to-dos that need to get done during the week. And so I put another one of those blue strips down with the label this week to be able to signify just the weekly to-dos. Now I think I'm looking for something decorative to put in that little box up at the top next to my habit tracker. And I found this cute little bluebird, which I thought matched perfectly with this kit, as well as kind of fit with the floral theme. And so now I'm just going in and tracking my videos for the week. I kind of forgot about them until the very end. And I do have 2 videos coming out for y'all this week. The one that you're currently watching, which is my plan with me. And then on Friday, I'll have my Clean Mama routine page up for y'all. I filmed that quite a while ago because I actually had to have it set up for the 1st of May so that I could be able to actually start using it. But it's just taking me this long to get it finally out to y'all. So I apologize for that. Hopefully when summertime rolls around, maybe I'll have a little bit more time. I can increase my videos that are posting. But for right now, Tuesdays and Fridays are about all I can swing. And even that sometimes gets to be a little difficult. So that's about it. For this, I'm going to just show you some close-ups and then let y'all go. I really did enjoy how this one turned out. Very springy and definitely a pretty kit. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye, everybody.